other role models can you go back in your mind and relate to that helped you become the man you are today, that you want to take that into helping to grow Cash?
Probably my uncle, because when I was younger, I had to be away from my parents for a while, and so I was, going from different families to different families, and I lived with, my dad's older brother for a few years, and I think he was the eldest of my father's family to come to the United States, and I mean he, basically fed the entire family, from his brothers and sisters, and helped everyone get their start in the States, and I still remember as a kid it was, we didn't have a lot growing up, but when I went to my uncle's house, I got to see what Boy Scouts were, I got to see what T-ball was, and I got bag lunches, and I got new clothes, and then, just watching how he loved all of us and how hard he worked, and I still registering that even in like the 3rd grade, that, this guy went out, did all these things, and kind of made sure that everyone was taken care of, and I don't know how at that age I was able to register that. And then to hear my father's stories about how much my dad, how scary it is, one, for a man to come from another country, barely speak the language, and become a very successful businessman and help them all have their start in the States. He was one, and then much later in life, I left college and my dad wasn't feeling too great, so I took over his martial arts schools. And I ran into this man named Bill Clark, who became my mentor in the kind of the karate school business. And at that time we had, my dad was running a school, and it was tough. It was in Napa Valley. He had like 30 students, barely paying the bills. And I met this man, and he told me he knew me from, we met at this event, and he just said, well, if you want to learn anything from me about this business, come fly out to Florida. And I went there literally the next week. I flew there and stayed there for 7 days, watched how this man operated his schools on how he taught kids. And his primary business was, how was he going to educate a child in using martial arts? And he taught me how to teach, how to the psychology of a kid, how to literally change the way they think in one day, in one class, and be able to continue that cycle to black belt. If I didn't have that as a foundation, I don't think I would have, one, had the guts to come to Los Angeles and apply everything that I learned from him on how to change a kid's thinking, on how to change patterns, and at least chase something with this mindset of success, and go chase what I want to do in the second part of my life. And I moved to LA and literally used everything that he taught me to try to make it in this business. So,
wow, it's amazing. Cool. When you passed through the schools and you went on to your Hollywood career and being an action star, have you come across any other older action star fathers or dads that you're like, wow, I see how he's doing what he's doing, and I think I kind of want to be like that?
For the brief moment I got to see like Hugh Jackman with his kids, I mean, they're really involved. I just saw that he wasn't like, in our business you see parenting by nanny or parenting by helpers, and I could see that he placed a lot of importance on being there and sitting with his kid, and you could slightly hear certain conversations like, oh, he's being a dad in the middle of this, we have a 15-hour day setup of all fighting, and he needs to be focused on what he's doing, but I can hear him at lunch being a dad. Now that I'm a new father, now you're like open up to other fathers, and you see how many parents there are, and all of a sudden all your friends are becoming, so we're all brand new at it. So I think our biggest role models, for me and my wife, are literally our parents, and those are the people that we look up to.
My Life as a Dad.
Sponsored by Daddy & Company, the perfect gifts for dad. Check out more episodes of My Life as a Dad by clicking here.